All right, we're live, and I'm Shane, and this is Nicolette, and we're doing another stream, and we're going to go and let our guests introduce themselves. So, gentlemen, go ahead.
Hi everyone, my name is Canuck. I am a French Canadian conservative slash libertarian in Montreal, as my co-host. Hey guys, my name is Jason. You call me the questioning conservative. I would consider myself the same. I'm a conservative libertarian. Starting to get into more of the political side of things lately. I was never that interested in politics until recently, and started thanks to Dave and actually a couple other friends, sort of gaining more interest and sort of getting a feel and understanding of where I sit in terms of perspective.
All right, cool. So you both are a conservative libertarian. When you say that, what views are you more conservative on, and what views are you more libertarian on? Is there something like really specific on those?
Okay, well, on the conservative side, I am a conservative on economics. Economic matters. I'm a conservative on the size and scope of government. I believe in the right to be honest. I'm actually envious of you guys because you guys have the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
I would say I'm also conservative on the abortion issue and national security. Now, when it comes to libertarian, I would say I'm a libertarian on social policy. For example, I don't have the thought of a gays getting married. I don't have the thought of a broken talk. Pretty much, like, I believe people can do whatever they want, just as long as it doesn't hurt me physically and that I don't have to pay for it. And also, I'm really big on free speech. So that's where I was so, yeah, no, I think I probably feel similar on most of those things. I'm really all about you guys good? Or is there?
Hey, I'm sorry. The sound's kind of it's because someone on the chat said it sounds like there's air, like it sounds like air leaking.
Yeah, that's what we hear on this side too.
Yeah. Oh, now it stopped.
It's so weird because it sounded clear now. So keep going. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Well, that's fine. If it gets bad, just let us know.
You know what I think it is? I think if you speak up more, then the background noise stops. I think that's it.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. We'll try.
Or it gets worse. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think I'm along the same lines. I'm really just a big believer in personal rights. As long as they don't, whatever those rights are, as long as they don't infringe on other people's freedoms, essentially. I'm conservative. I don't believe in big government. I believe in free enterprise and that's maybe no. Okay. Anyways, yeah. I mean, that's essentially it. I think what's pushed me into these ways of thinking is really I hate bullies, whether that's government or what the left seems to be doing right now in sort of creating group politics or identity politics, and then sort of trying to use that to silence people that don't agree with them, and I have a really big problem with that. So it's pushed me even more to the right than I've previously been, to be honest.
Have you always been politically aligned like this, or has it kind of shifted over the years?
No, I would say the majority of my life I've probably been more liberal, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I still do have liberal.
That seems to be kind of a running theme whenever you hear someone that's conservative or libertarian. They started on the left side, and then
they get pushed that way because people just like on the left are just becoming more and more crazy. I guess
it's so extreme. It's getting so extreme and polarized Now, I mean, I call myself questioning conservative because I do, even though I do, like I said, I fall on the conservative side on a lot of issues. I'm always questioning. I never want to just stick to one belief because it is what it is, and blind myself to other facts, whatever it be. So I do on some issues still sway towards the liberal side of things, but in general, especially when it comes to big government and their involvement in our personal lives, I'm very, very conservative.
So when you say that you're liberal on some issues, is there specific issues that you are still kind of more on the liberal side?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things. I'm trying to think of something of recent issues, even gender pronouns and that sort of thing. I mean, I know a lot of conservatives can be very very black and white when it comes to these sorts of things. You know.
Yeah.
If someone asks me to call them whatever the gender pronoun is that they want to choose, I have no problem calling them that. I'm not going to be a militant about, this is bullshit. This is all sort of a construct of what have you. Whether or not I believe it or not, I will be okay with using the pronouns as an example, that sort of thing. I do believe that on the left and the right, there's a little bit too much of militantly pushing the points, and when you have that sort of mentality and we're constantly looking for a fight rather than a solution, I don't think we get anywhere with the problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So since you mentioned the gender pronoun thing, what do you think of Canada's what is it called, Bill C-16?
Yeah, I think it's dangerous. Yeah, to be honest. Yeah, I think it's dangerous. I don't know why the government is stepping in and getting involved. Right. Well, I do to a certain degree. It's because our government is extremely liberal, and they want to be seen as being on the forefront of liberal issues. And
right. Because I don't know if it's for the entire country or if it's just for. Because I heard that.
I think it's just Ontario.
Yeah. It was for Ontario. It was a law that was introduced, or a bill that was introduced.
But it sets a bad precedent.
Ontario legislation.
Ontario.
Right. So it's I don't think it passed. I'm not sure.
I think it did.
There's another bill in Ontario. Are you saying, or?
Yeah, because it was a bill that was introduced in the Ontario legislature.
Oh, what is that? Is that different from Bill C-16, or are you talking about Bill C-16?
It's a Bill C-16.
Oh, okay, so it's only Ontario then?
Yeah. I believe it only applies to Ontario currently. I could be wrong, but
it is. Yeah. But I don't. But I'm not sure if it passed or not.
And it's also, I believe, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's only for certain areas as well. Like I think it's just for government-run entities.
Yeah.
Right. It's not sort of a general bill that sort of limits free speech essentially across the board.
Right.
It's only government-run entities. But I mean, again, I think that it sets a bad precedent.
Yeah.
And it's
government enforcement, which is very problematic for me.
It's a dangerous small step towards something that could be worse.
Yeah, I guess it's a form of social engineering, which is makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, it sounds like they're being very progressive on that particular issue. Like for some reason they're trying to rush it in there.
Right. And it's I don't know. It's
What are your thoughts on that? I try and whenever something like this happens, I always try and understand what's the reasoning behind this. What's the mentality? Is it pressure from leftist groups that are kind of pushing their agenda? Is it an attempt? I don't know. I'm not really sure where it comes from. Is it because the right don't make their voices heard enough, and the government sort of bends to the will of whoever puts the most pressure? I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of weird because personal responsibility just seems to be kind of something that no one really cares about. So the government's trying to push everything to make, if you don't agree with it, it doesn't matter. You have to do it anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
But it sounds like what that whole thing's about, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to be called a he, or you want to be a he? Well, you gotta say that they're a he now, and if you say they're a she, well, we can put you in jail.
Yeah,
That's
It's insane, and this subject has been debated and talked about. So
Yeah.
you get hoarse, but I mean, where does it end, right?
Right.
Really,
Right.
where does it
Yeah.
end? There's animal pronouns.
Yeah.
I've looked through the list of pronouns, and there's over 100.
Yeah. I mean,
Wait, really?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
What?
It's oh my god, it's so ridiculous.
If you want to be called a cat, there are pronouns for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Wait, really? I need to look this list up.
Yeah.
well, if you sign up on Facebook, I think there's like a bunch of.
Oh my god.
Really? They have them on Facebook now?
Yeah. It's
That's ridiculous. I'm gonna
But-
go back and name. I'm gonna say that people need to call me a cat now.
right.
So,
Right.
Well, you do have years.
yeah.
But the thing is, like, what really makes it interesting is that because here in Canada, unlike the U.S., we really don't have guaranteed freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up here. So like if we, because up here we have what's called a Human Rights Commission.
Yeah, I
So-
heard about them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Heard a little bit about them.
Yeah. So basically, if we, like, for example, if you, like, okay, here's a perfect example. There was a case out in BC where there was a lesbian couple who went to this comedy show,
Hmm.
and apparently, so they were offended by a joke that stand-up made, so they charged a
Was the comedian Mike Ward? Because that sounds familiar to Mike Ward said a joke about I guess to give the politically incorrect term, a retarded joke.
yeah. Well, no, there was that case here in Quebec.
Oh, okay.
So there's
okay.
Yeah,
two different
so
ones.
he lost that. He lost
Right.
that.
Yeah, that was just stupid. Yeah.
And so, but in BC, the couple filed a complaint with the Human Rights Commission, or their
Here it is. Lesbian wins 2,200 or 22,500 over comedians insults.
insults. Yeah. So it's
Toronto comic and Vancouver restaurant owner have been ordered to pay a lesbian patron 22,500 in compensation for retrieved insults.
yeah, they were found. No, he was found guilty by the.
His name was Guy. His name was Guy Earl.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he was. So basically, he was forced to pay what 22,500.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
a joke.
Yeah, apparently they were heckling him all night, so he targeted them. I don't know what he said, it doesn't say, but he was making jokes as comedians do. I mean, you go to a comedy show, you gotta expect that you're going to be potentially the target of jokes, right?
Right.
They didn't like it, and won the hearing.
Yeah, because when you go to a comedy show, you kind of need to know what you're going to expect, and you know that's going to be kind of a little risque.
Right.
It's going to be kind of over the top, kind of.
The problem is if comedians now can't even joke about whatever they want to. I mean, that was sort of the last stage where free speech had free reign. I mean, you can joke about whatever you want. As long as it's in good taste. And maybe it wasn't. I don't know, but that sound's gone now.
Oh, it's better now? Yes, yeah, I figured that's what it was. I got something plugged in, and they were thinking, okay, maybe it's not that, and now it's not plugged in.
Yeah.
So apparently it sounds perfect.
It sounds totally gone now.
Us anyway.
So anyway, yeah, so probably a good 15 minutes, the audio's gonna be bad. But anyway, go on with what you're saying.
Oh, no, that's what I was just saying. I mean, like, if comedians can't make jokes about what they want, then then it's a downhill slope.
I mean,
from there.
wasn't it Chris Rock who said, or Seinfeld, who said that he refuses to perform at?
Yeah, it was Seinfeld. He said that I don't want to perform in colleges anymore because it's so PC nowadays.
Yeah.
Very Seinfeld. Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Come on, Jerry. If Seinfeld said, "No,
Does he even do
here."
insulting?
Yeah, I don't think he even swears on stage.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
Hardly ever. Like the worst thing he says is like maybe shit or
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny to bring up Seinfeld though, because I mean, there is always a limit, and who's the guy that played Kramer on Seinfeld?
Oh yeah,
Remember
Michael Richards.
Remember,
Michael Richards. Yeah,
he went too far. So there is, but I don't think that was in the spirit of joking anymore. And I think that's probably the line, right?
Yeah. Well, even that. I mean,
Kramer.
Do you remember? Do you remember that scandal?
Yeah, I know that because I guess they were saying that saying words or that are you can't say
derogatory words against black people. But
yeah,
it wasn't just that. I mean,
but from another story that I heard was that they were heckling him, so they kept bothering him, so he was getting so angry. He's like, you know what? Well, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
You're gonna hit me in the face.
But yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, and he ended up using a word. It starts with the letter N. What was it
I can't
again?
remember.
I don't remember. I don't remember. Right.
You said what?
It was Michael Richards who plays.
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, he plays Kramer. And
what happened?
He was at a comedy show, doing some stand up.
Right.
And he said the. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and people were heckling him
multiple times, but not. It wasn't just that. It was the way he was saying it. He was saying some pretty.
But look, I mean, even that. I mean, for me, the limit is when it comes to actually threatening someone or inciting violence or slander.
Yeah, that makes sense to me because
that's the limit. Now, again, I believe people are free to say whatever they want,
right?
But at the same time, they're not free from consequences,
repercussions. I agree.
Repercussions.
It's kind of a weird line because you have the right to say whatever you want, but that other person has the right to be offended, and they have the right to do whatever they want with what you said. So it's kind of a weird kind of.
But that's the thing, though. Because I don't believe people have the right not to have their feelings hurt.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it's
but you can't control what they how they're going to react to what you say because
anything can happen.
Right.
I mean,
it sounds so stupid coming from someone like me who says the most crazy stuff. But then if someone's offended by it, well then fuck you then.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is it's just the government should not be getting involved, nor
100%.
It'd be a legal issue.
All right.
If you're offended, so be it. If someone says something insulting or hurtful, I mean, there'll be repercussions in terms of maybe what this person says back or
right.
whatever conflict. But yeah,
so it's kind of like when you see people who are so-called abused online. Right. And it's like, well, then get off the computer then.
Yeah, you don't have to be on there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's people are forgetting. I think personal responsibility and also just I don't know, for lack of a better word, just I guess personal responsibility. People, if you can't blame everybody else for what's going on with you. If you're offended by being somewhere, then don't be there. You know what I mean? Like if you're not willing to potentially be insulted, don't go to a freaking comedy show.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, people want their individual rights, but they don't want to take personal responsibility. So
exactly.
That's the. But I just want to get back to a question you asked earlier about if we've always been conservatives. I know Jason. He mentioned that he was a liberal, right? You were.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't follow any party, but I think that my viewpoints were probably quite liberal. Yeah.
For me, it was the opposite. I mean, I've never been how you say quote unquote red pilled.
Mm-hmm.
that term is becoming cliche now. But I've always been a conservative. I grew up in a liberal household, or at least my spine voted for the Liberal Party up here, so it's a bit more center left, or with the emphasis on center on centrist. But I've always been pretty conservative. Like as a teenager and going into university, I would say I used to be super hardcore socially conservative, until I realized my social conservatism kind of conflicted with my conservative ideas of having the government stay out of people's personal lives. So I kind of put it to libertarianism on some issues. But yes, I would consider myself a conservative, if that makes any sense.
Okay, so you've always been a kind of a more right leaning.
Right.
So that must have been kind of weird then to be, I guess, the outlier in your family, because everyone else is more left and you're on the right. So that must have been some interesting dinner table conversation.
You're right. Yeah, but the thing is, the great thing is that, look, I grew up in a very politically active household, and I learned I grew to learn politics because of my mom, who she was she's retired now, but she was a government bureaucrat. Boo. No. But yeah, she worked for the federal government, and she instilled that love of politics in me, and she taught my brother and I was to think for ourselves,
right?
Not just to follow she taught us to, well, especially me. She taught me to be a non-conformist. Just follow my own path. At least it didn't matter what it didn't matter if I disagreed with her. What was important is that I actually believed in something and not be so apathetic to issues. So we would discuss politics all the time. We follow American politics. So growing up, the U.S. general election was kind of like a Super Bowl for us. So like in
trust me, that's how it is down here too.
right, yeah. So it's the only time we would actually kind of butt heads would be during that time. Like in 2008, we supported Obama. I supported McCain. In 2012, I supported Romney, and she supported again Obama, and in 2016, she supported Hillary, but she was kind of lukewarm on her.
That's kind of how it was with Trump and Hillary. Everyone's like, I guess I'll vote for Trump because I hate Hillary so much, or
Yeah. But the thing is with her, she disagreed with Bernie Sanders. Like she's not a socialist. I mean, but and with Hillary, it's just kind of well, I was like in the primary with Rand Paul and Ted Cruz. So it was like that. So I don't know. I was like, okay, let's give
I know. For me, during this past election in 2016, I remember like Donald Trump was just everything he was saying. It was just like, I can't believe he's saying this stuff.
Right.
He was a massive outlier, because he was just making fun of Rand Paul's looks, talking about hands, it's like, who does this in a political stage or whatever? So I think most people gravitated towards him, not just because I really believe that it wasn't because of his politics. It was mainly because of
his antics.
I'm trying to fix the sound because people are saying echo. So I'm plugging in a different microphone.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I don't know why there's an audio issue. We have not had this problem before. But anyway, let me go on.
The echo is not on our side, is it?
No, it's our side.
Yeah, we suck. But anyway, so kind of like with Obama, and I'm sure you feel this way, but like kind of how like with Trump, the way he was saying and what he kind of, I guess, the aura of him was what I think most people gravitate towards, not just, his politics, right? Because you see when he became president, he was just, business as usual.
Right.
Continuing the wars that he said is going to end. And yet here we are still, after Bush and Obama, and now with Trump, of course, we're going to still continue these wars that they say, oh, we're going to end these wars, and then they lie, again.
Yeah.
And then I didn't like McCain or Obama.
Okay.
So, but I don't know. Lesser two evils is just not the way it's supposed to be. It really isn't.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, the thing is, like, I guess with at least with Republicans, it was like, okay, they tried the war hawk like McCain, and it failed.
Oh yeah, it failed miserably.
Yeah. So and then 4 years later, they tried to moderate with Romney. Again, it failed. So
yeah, they focused more, I think, on the economy.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that look, right now, I had my doubt about Trump. I was never a never Trumper, but the thing is, I think now I'm kind of like 50-50. I'm starting to warm up to him. I think that when I say 50-50, I would say the tweets. I'm not a huge fan of some of his tweets, but that's a small issue. But I think that he has done some pretty good things. I think his Supreme Court pick was great. The deregulation, awesome. So and plus, and look, the results. I mean, you can see the results. I think I was a big fan of his tax cuts. Look, I mean, unemployment is down, especially among blacks and Hispanics. Right now,
what do you think about the people on the left who say that that's just the after effects of Obama and what he implemented while he was in office?
Well,
now it's taking it as opposed to Trump taking credit for those things.
Oh no, I mean,
good question, Jason. Good question.
Yeah, but I mean, it's if the economy went bad, like it just went south, they would blame Trump, right? But it's so and not on Obama's legacy. It's like, but no, I think that I'm sure. I don't know. It's hard to it's hard to say, but I think that Trump's policies did help. Because I think businesses have more confidence in Trump. Saying that their taxes will go down, and hey, look, Krugman predicted that the stock market.
Oh man! Okay, so speaking of Krugman, I'm glad you actually mentioned it because there's a podcast called Contra Krugman where it's Tom Woods and Bob Murphy, and all they do is, Bob Krugman says something crazy today. Let's go debunk what he just said. It's a great podcast, and like you were saying, I think him saying that the stock market would never recover if Trump became president was the number one. Because he did that whole fake news awards thing.
Yeah.
Number one, like he was the first prize.
Right.
That was great. I was like, wow.
Yeah. And I mean, look, with Trump, I think with Trump, it was a backlash, against identity politics, against the political correctness, against the.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think it was partly, like you said, people didn't want to vote for Hillary.
Yeah.
So I mean, it obviously polarized things. But second of all, I think part of it was that too. I think it's just people were tired of bullshit, to be honest. And Trump, I mean, for better or for worse, he does some pretty stupid stuff. But he said he tells it how he feels. You know what I mean? There's really no filter from that brain of his to his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people like that. I think they like the honesty, and I think that. People that aren't racist were tired of being called racist.
Yeah,
and people that aren't homophobic were tired of being called homophobes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, anyone that's right of John McCain is pretty much considered a Nazi now.
That's it, right? So there's all these people that feel alienated who might not have even voted Republican.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, a perfect example. I mean, if you look at in a blue state like Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is a blue state, right?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, most. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you look at the counties that were like deep blue in Pennsylvania that voted for in 08 and 2012 they voted Obama, and yet in 16 they voted for Trump. So it's so this idea that that was just racist who voted.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the whole, you know, the whole United States of America, and you see all the counties and just the land mass. It's just almost all red, and then you see the small specks of blue because that's where all the cities are usually.
Yeah, all the big
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So if we were just going by land, I mean, Republicans would be winning all the time, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
I don't know. So is there a particular, kind of going more towards the Canadian politics for a minute? Is there any issues that are in Canada that are very important over there that here in America we wouldn't, you know, have any clue about?
Okay. Well, right now, unfortunately, we have a SJW Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, who it's just terrible. I mean, and he's.
What's the worst thing that he's done in your opinion? Kind of going on him. Sorry, I keep interrupting, but what's the worst thing in your? What's the worst thing he's done?
Well, you heard about the hijab,
right?
I heard about that.
Yeah, and his whole speech, which I not just me, but a lot of Canadians thought was offensive. I mean, he pretty much implied that Canada's awash in racism and bigotry, which is further from the truth, and Bill hasn't apologized for it.
I can think of something else just off the top of my head. I don't know if it's the worst thing that he's done, but just recently, he adjusted we have a essentially the government will give I believe it's grants, and I have to go back and recheck the facts here, but essentially the government will give grants to I believe it's nonprofit organizations,
right,
that employ people who are otherwise unemployable. Again, the details I'm not exactly sure, but that's the gist of it. But he adjusted the paper or the document that essentially when you apply for this grant or whatever it is, you need to fill out a document, of course, and there are certain things you need to check off saying I agree with this, I agree with this, I agree with this.
Oh yeah, it's pro-life thing.
Right. So one of them was I don't know if it was pro-life. Was it pro-life or was it gay marriage?
It was the abortion. Yeah, it was pro-life.
So it was pro-life.
Yeah,
right.
so if you're
something that more traditional religious people would have a problem with.
Yeah, so if you're pro-life, then you can't
get the grant.
You can't get the grant.
You don't get the support. But the problem is that a lot of these organizations are religious organizations, of course, right? They've been around for millennia trying to help out with the homeless and the homeless issue, but also the issue of lack of jobs for kind of these people that can't be employed by regular means.
Right.
So I know it's a really big issue, and I know he's had a lot of backlash from it because, like I said, he adjusted. Essentially, he's forcing these people to admit or say that they agree with things that are to them against their religion, in order to get the grants that would allow them to keep operating.
So it's an ideological litmus test. You know?
Yeah, essentially. Yeah. I would say. I mean, like I said, I don't know if that's the worst thing he's done, but I think that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus,
I mean, it's kind of like here when there was that issue of a gay couple wanting to get a cake baked for them.
Right.
Why don't you go somewhere else to get a cake? I mean, I'm sure someone will say, yeah, let's do it. But no, this one bakery doesn't want to do it. So we got to get all the money we can.
Right.
It's that kind of stuff really.
Yeah, and
pisses me off.
that whole thing. I mean, it's funny. I mean, because look, I just tell people the free market will take care of it. Basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like for me personally, okay, because I'm a capitalist. I'm pro.
How dare you?
Yeah, exactly. Be gone. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pro making money, so I would have baked the cake. Like I don't care. Money is money. But look, I mean, if someone doesn't want to bake the cake, then
that's their right. They have the right to not bake the cake.
I mean, there's plenty of bakeries that.
Yeah, you don't have to agree with the reason behind them not baking the cake. I mean, in this case, I definitely don't. But they still have the right to bake a cake for who they want to. It's their business.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I mean, I see restaurants all the time. Where they have the signs that we refuse the right to serve anyone for whatever reason. And that's basically it. I mean,
it's the same.
It doesn't go with my religion, so I'm not going to give you a cake. But I'm sure there are plenty of other, like you're saying, free market, plenty of other businesses that will say, "Oh yeah, let's do it. We need, let's make the money."
It's ideology that's being force fed via the government, and it's a problem in both cases.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you a hard question, and it's going to be about Trudeau.
Okay.
Is there anything that he's done that you actually like?
Oh. Actually, honestly, no. Okay, no. There's one thing. He married Sophie Gregoire. I mean, she's cute.
Oh my God.
That's the only.
His personal life is great. I wish I had his personal life.
Yeah, she's pretty attractive. So she's okay. That's one good move, but honestly, like
it's not anything to do with politics. It's just, oh man, I wish I had this girl.
But honestly, I policy-wise, no, I can't.
Yeah.
Like the way he's handling, the free trade discussions and with taxes and no, it's no. I really cannot think of it.
So is he more? Would you say he's like pretty socialist, or is that kind of harsh on that? Or
no, that's not. I wouldn't say that's a harsh statement. I mean, Canada itself is definitely more socialist than the States in a lot of ways, I think.
Well,
and I think he's sort of. I mean, you can disagree, but
I wouldn't say. Thing is, I wouldn't call Canada exactly socialist. I mean, we're
not socialist, but we are more towards socialism than the States is for sure with our healthcare and.
Okay, healthcare. Yes, we have a socialized healthcare system. However, the thing is, with our healthcare system, it's the province. It falls under provincial jurisdiction, and not federal.
So does that mean every province has its own kind of set like guidelines?
Right. And the thing is,
most people think. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have up here what I guess what Americans don't know is that we have a quasi two-tiered healthcare system in that every province has we have private hospitals, we have private clinics, we have private insurance. So it's not exactly 100%
government controlled.
Right. And so also the reason why I wouldn't it's more left than your country, obviously. But in terms of before Trudeau came in, it was pretty fiscally conservative. Like our taxes were pretty low. I mean, the corporate tax rate was what, like 15%? Like it was
still too high, but yeah.
No, still too high, but it was still lower than the U.S. until Trump came in. But they did a poll. It was a few years back in which Canadians Canadians were asked where do they align themselves politically, and most Canadians said that they were like fiscally conservative, but yet socially liberal to moderate.
Right.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
We're weird. We're just like.
So, what do you think personally about your healthcare system? Do you think it's better than what people make it like? Because a lot of Americans use the Canadian healthcare system as like an example of why we shouldn't.
Why can't you be like
Well,
Canada?
here's the thing. I mean, I can
why you
speak
shouldn't
on
or
it
you
to a
should.
certain degree. I mean, from a personal standpoint, I always thought that the Canadian healthcare system was the best in the world. I mean, you go to a clinic whenever you're sick. You go to the clinic. You get treated. If we need to get whatever it is, surgery, anything, it's all covered. I mean, we don't pay for anything, although we do, of course, pay for it. Through our taxes.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that's not covered is
drugs.
Drugs and
cosmetic surgery, of course. And
eyes, dental.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. You get coverage for that. But essentially, I mean, we're sort of taught that it's the greatest thing on earth.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you don't see the money come out of your paychecks, or you don't realize it when you get paid, of course you're getting taxed, and you don't marry those two things together. You don't realize that you're actually paying for all this every month, right? And you can go to the doctor anytime you want. It seems pretty fantastic. But when I start talking to doctors here, I mean, none of them are happy.
Yeah.
A lot of doctors, as soon as they finish school here, they're off to the States or off to other places, because they're just not getting paid here, you know. And on top of that, I mean, there's the money going into research for medical research and that sort of thing. It's non-existent here, and I think that is an unfortunate side effect of the structure of our healthcare. So on a personal level, it seems fantastic, but I think that there are a lot of problems with it.
Well, look, I mean, because I don't want to really dump on our healthcare system. I mean, look, pretty much every Western country has pretty much good healthcare. Relatively speaking, I mean, we're not a third world banana republic, but but the thing is the one thing I would totally criticize is the wait times. The wait times are
here.
Yeah,
in BC, it's not bad at all.
No, but still, I mean, if it's non-emergency, like if it's a non
life-threatening
emergency or non-life and death or death, waiting up like hours
in hospital. Or
in both, I mean,
because really, this is I'm from the West Coast originally. I only moved here a few years ago to the East Coast, but it's a Quebec thing. I have never waited for a clinic more than tops in BC. Here, you have to go in the morning. You literally have to, if you want to go to see a doctor, you go first thing in the morning. You have to be there by around 7 o'clock. Stand in line till about 8:30. Put in your name, and you might get seen that day.
Yeah, you might be that day.
That's kind of bad.
So if it's like for sure a non-life threatening, they probably don't give a crap.
You're right.
Yeah, you just take a number and wait in line. It can be a day or two.
Yeah, and also with surgeries, you can wait like up to a year for just basic surgery. So
I waited 8 months to get an MRI.
Yeah, and look, we're a country of only 37 million plus. So you can only imagine in a country of like your country, which is what the population over 300 million. So
just imagine what the wait time is to get that kind of healthcare.
Yeah, anyway,
see a doctor. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, you just good luck. Might as well just might as well just die.
So if you go to the hospital, is it better then? Like if you had, like, let's say like you, I don't know, got in a car crash, you wouldn't. Obviously, they would just take all the people who are life-threatening first, right?
Serious, if it's serious and life-threatening, they'll get you in.
Of course. I mean, if you've been shot or had a heart attack or a stroke or something, then of course you'll see a doctor, right?
What about like heart surgery and stuff like that, like life-threatening? Like if you don't get this done within a couple months, does that?
I think they'll probably prioritize you.
I
think so.
It's depending. Well, it depends on the
severity.
The severity.
it's not as bad as people make it, or like a lot of people here make it seem like it is. Then
it's not a bad system. To be perfectly honest, like I said, I mean, it's not terrible. I don't like the fact that I guess what it comes down to for me is twofold. A, the fact that our doctors aren't getting paid enough, and as a result of that, we're losing a lot of our top minds here in the medical field. But also, I don't like being forced to pay a considerable amount out of every paycheck in order to have this go to pay for medical care for everyone. I mean, it's redistribution, right? I'd like to have that choice.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, like I've only had to stay overnight in a hospital like 2 times in my life. So, but both times I paid out of pocket, sorry, because I went to a private hospital. But I think if I had a choice, I would basically choose the French model, which is really a 2-tiered healthcare system, one private, one public. So,
and why would you choose that one?
I think it's more efficient. I think the waiting lines are much shorter, meaning that if those who can pay private and those who can't, well, they go public. So it's like the lines get shorter. So whereas
if there are more choices with where you can go in terms of a hospital or surgery, whatever, do you think it would be a lot better than saying you just have 2 choices and that's it?
Right. I mean, I think it's like in your country where it's the lack of competition in terms of insurance. Like in some places where it's just some states there's just like one insurance company.
Right.
I'm not correct me if I'm wrong, but
no, that's pretty much the way it is. I mean, it's either this is the one that's here in your area and that's it, or you're in this area. Yeah.
And for insurance, it usually depends on what job you have, and then you only get one choice. Like if I worked at a certain place, and that's the only insurance that you can get.
Right.
Like buy it out somewhere else for like a lower coverage or something.
Right. So it's I guess from my issue is the lack of competition.
Yeah. That seems to be the main issue, I think, with a lot of things, is the lack of competition. There's like Democrat and Republican, that's it, basically. Most people, that's all you have, or liberal conservative, that's it, or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, for us here, at least, I vote conservative, but what's good about here is that we actually have, because we have a British parliamentary system,
right?
Where we have like you actually have choices.
Yeah, it does seem like you have a lot more,
I mean, you have the Liberals, you have Conservatives, you have the NDP, you have the Green Party, the Bloc, the Green, and they all have seats in the House of Commons. So it's more representative of the population, overall population. Yeah.
So there's a question on the chat that says, what about the Canadian death panels? If it's determined that treatment is not worth the cost, they won't receive treatment. What are your thoughts on that?
Say again. Sorry.
The death panel.
Yeah, the Canadian death panels. Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, maybe. I just thought, I was like, no, there's one thing about that.
That sounds.
Explain it again.
Yeah, that sounds kind of like the Hunger Games.
So much movies. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a Hunger Games type.
I read something about that before, but I don't know if it's true or not.
I'm just reading what they said. Yeah, but it said if it's determined that treatment is not worth the cost, they won't receive treatment. So I guess maybe if it's
like an older person or something like that.
Yeah, like say if they're 90 years old and they treat them as like, well, what's the point? They're going to live, at least 5 more years. What's the point, or something like that?
Yeah, I do. I'm
not familiar with it.
Yeah, that just seems like. I'm not to sound cruel or anything, but I mean, if you're 95 years old, I think I'd rather just be like, well, I mean, of course I say that now when I'm not 95 years old.
Live a good life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No. Hey, as soon as I turn 80, I want to be I want to leave this room.
Yeah. So like we're on the issue of healthcare, and of course with Obamacare, or the Affordable Care Act, as it's
You're right. Romney.
Brainwashed into us. You know, if you don't have health insurance here, right? Health insurance.
Yeah, then you get fined.
Yeah, you get fined at the end of the year. So thanks a lot, Obama. Like literally, thanks, Obama.
Yeah,
I hope you're watching, which I know he's not, but somehow, some way, thanks, Obama, for making. I probably have to pay that fine because I didn't have health insurance for most of the year. Yeah, I probably.
That's
Yeah,
$600 something.
Yeah, most likely because I didn't have health insurance.
Right. I mean, it's. And this,
that's how crazy it is here. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
seriously, I mean, God.
I don't know. Did Trump get rid of?
Well, he got rid of the mandate.
Did he get rid of the fine though? I don't know.
I think so. I think so.
I wonder how many years that's going to take to go into effect.
Usually, it takes about a year.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's I don't know. There's something. It's
well, because everybody has to have health care. So here's a government website that took 5 years to make.
Yeah.
And now we can, so yeah, go sign up for health care. And then of course, when I remember that whole time too, when they're making that website and it crashed within like a day because everyone's like, oh, I get health care.
Yeah.
Wow, it's like super expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, that's the thing with, it's funny because look, I have more faith in the free market than I do in government run anything. So it's like
look at the DMV. It's a piece of shit down here.
Yeah. No, so the fact that they couldn't, they messed up a website. It's kind of,
that's like to make a website.
That's like to me that's government. That's right there. That's government. That's just like the government failure right there.
Yeah, and then of course they spin it to where, oh, if the Republicans get rid of this Obamacare, then everyone's going to lose health insurance. Yeah, because you forced everyone to have it.
Exactly. Yeah.
For it, or for other people,
Yeah, well, and plus young people are pretty healthy. I mean, I don't think they're like they wouldn't get it like insurance, health insurance, but and didn't the premiums go like just skyrocket?
Oh yeah, it got way worse, and they had to cut out a bunch of plans too.
Yeah, it's
yeah, they really narrowed down the market to again,
right,
competition, as they say.
But the thing is, what I find well, because of course it started off in Massachusetts when Romney was governor. It was him who implemented it in Massachusetts.
Yeah, because a lot of people were kind of because when they was doing it, everyone was like, "Well, you did it in Massachusetts and it worked, so why can't we do it national?"
Yeah, of course, because but the thing is, I mean, one size doesn't fit all. So I mean, but didn't it come from? Didn't the idea come from a conservative think tank?
I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would have to.
Because a lot of right wing, talk show hosts, when you're going to talk about healthcare, they always pinpoint to, Canadian healthcare is not that great, it's socialized, and the healthcare system down here is the best, and and you're basically saying, well,
that's
I mean,
wrong.
Yeah,
our healthcare system's messed up, but it's kind of messed up to the point where I don't really see how it could be fixed.
Well, yeah, I mean,
short term.
Yeah, I mean it's messed up because it's again the lack of competition and then B it's the price of anything. It's just way too expensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's due to government regulation, though.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Here's the so I just read a quick little article on the
death panel.
Yeah, the death panel says that in Ontario, a group of government-appointed adjudicators can overrule a family's choice to keep somebody on life support. That's essentially it. So the tribunal, not the doctor, or not the family, or the individual doctors, has the ultimate power to pull the plug.
Okay, well, I guess we do have
here. Yeah. I don't know if I necessarily have a problem with that. I need to read into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they're already on life support, it depends. I mean, there's so many details. There's so many questions unanswered. Like what this panel, what are the criteria for them coming to a decision to pull the plug?
What's an ethical issue? I mean, like.
But to me, if someone's on life support, you're already extending life beyond the natural.
Yeah,
right.
That's true.
Especially if you know for a fact that that person's not breathing for themselves, if the machine.
That's it. If the machine's breathing for them, I don't just purely personally, I don't have an ethical issue with
but you
tribunal deciding to pull the plug.
but do you really want to leave it up to the courts to decide and not?
It depends. I mean, what this is an extreme situation, but what happens if you've got a massive number of people that are all on these machines? I mean, there has to be a line somewhere because that's taxpayers' money that's going into paying for those to keep these people alive as well, right?
Yeah, no, that's true. But
it's a problem if it's taxpayer funded. Like if their family wanted to pay for it privately, then I can.
That's a different subject for sure.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah. Taxes all together. Yeah. So, is there anything that you want to ask us in terms of anything that's happening here in America that maybe hopefully we have some knowledge on, or not really?
Yeah, I mean, first off, have you guys always been libertarians, or have you started? Were you like liberals and then
or both of us, I think, right?
Yeah. Do you want to?
Well, for me, I always grew up conservative because my dad was really conservative, and so I guess I kind of just saw only that side. But then as I got older, I became more libertarian because I found myself falling more libertarian on like social issues.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and for me, I just kind of realized that Republicans and Democrats are basically the same. They're like basically the two-headed snake.
You were more liberal, right?
Yeah, I guess I would say I was more liberal, which is weird because I remember when Bush was president and not really knowing anything. Oh, they're fighting over there. Okay, cool. That's great. And now I look, oh, well, they lied us into these wars and we're still reeling the effects of it. And, oh, Obama's going to end them? Okay, cool. And that didn't work out. And now Trump's like, yeah, we're wasting all this money. And then he gives them even more money.
Right.
Everyone just kind of 180s once they become president. I really think when they become president, someone goes, yeah, if you don't do what we say, we're going to kill your whole family. So, I guess we got to do what they say or they'll shoot us.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because right now I find myself being shifted to one position due to what's going on. I mean, for example, before I guess I was more libertarian when it came to immigration, but since I mean, you know what's going on in Europe with the mass migration and what's going on in your country and in ours, I find myself being more conservative
and stuff like that.
Yeah, more conservative on the immigration front. I think there needs to be a tougher border security. Look, I'm French Canadian in that I was born in Canada, but my family's from France, and the situation over there with the influx of migrants. It's I mean, you look at Sweden and in Paris, my mom's hometown, and you look at in other parts of Europe and in Germany. So it's like yeah. I mean, plus it's kind of the whole thing has just gone under
Has it been like a sudden change, like out of all of a sudden all these people are starting to come in, or has it always been like this? Migrants coming in.
No, well, I mean, I think the whole thing started with with the conflict in Syria and Angela Merkel deciding to let all these refugees in.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you have an influx of migrants coming in who whose cultures are kind of incompatible with Western culture, and these people are unvetted, and the problem with multiculturalism and is that you bring in all these people, you don't integrate you don't properly vet them, they don't integrate or assimilate into the society. So what multiculturalism does is create these like ethnic ghettos.
So there's a quick little question. It's a bit of a tangent, but I've been talking to a friend of mine at work quite a bit recently about this. He's Muslim, and we're talking about Muslims coming into these countries, and obviously sometimes, to be honest, the majority of which integrate quite well, but there are large pockets of them that don't, right? And a question, I mean, what are your thoughts on migration of, I mean, this is an issue for you guys right now, right?
Yeah.
With Trump and banning Muslims or refugees or immigrants from certain Muslim countries.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a Muslim.
And I'm glad that you said, I'm glad you said certain.
But it's what is it, high risk countries or something?
Yeah, because Indonesia and India, they can still come in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but I mean, this is something that I've been pondering myself. Is it the fact that that the Muslim, something about Islam doesn't mesh with our culture, or is it just bringing large amounts of any people, if there are fundamental differences in beliefs and values, is going to be a problem because you can't control, like you said, you can't properly bring them through the channels that will help them integrate. Right. Is that what it is, or is there a fundamental issue with Islam that makes it like oil and water?
I think there is I think there's kind of like not just a straightforward, Islam sucks, and because I think there are people who believe that, and I think that's wrong when you say, I agree. A bad religion and they're never going to integrate. So what's the point? But then you see another way to look at it is the reason why they're attacking us because we're attacking them. So when you see terrorists over here and they're attacking us, well, maybe there is this blowback, or because you see it like whenever they were interviewing, they would say, well, we're doing it because you're attacking us.
But do you think that the same thing though as the people who are like migrating to Europe and then having all those terrorist attacks like in Sweden and
right? Really, I think it's just really hard to pinpoint how every single person's gonna think when you have them here, because they can put on a show and be like, I feel like
a lot of it. Right. A lot of the migration, like most of those, especially the ones in Europe, are not even they're not Syrian, just economic migrants. They're just trying to go to a different place to have a better life. But then the way that they grew up in that culture, they can't really integrate with society.
Right. So that's the question: is like, if the proper channels were in place to educate and to integrate, would that issue go away more or less? There's always going to be terrorism. Yeah, but would
too fast, like the way they're migrating, like mass immigration, it's never going to work because it's going too fast. It's going to change the culture.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like a slow, like steady influx
like a kind of a controlled.
Yeah, like maybe how it is here, like just a steady stream of immigrants that are properly vetted.
Yeah, and you have to take that test to become a citizen.
Yeah, and when
it's a pretty difficult one.
When you apply for a visa and stuff, you have to pass certain requirements. I don't know which countries do like on merit, but does Canada do that?
Yeah. We have a point system. I believe Australia has it also.
I think that's the way to go, because a lot of people who immigrate here through family, they can get through the interview. Like if the person who's sponsoring them has a lot of money or something like that, or has good connections.
Right.
Isn't that something that's going on?
Like they can be
the society. It's the chain migration.
Chain migration.
Yeah, I think the proposal that Trump just recently brought forward is it's limiting chain migration.
Well, but it's because the thing is correct me if I'm wrong, with chain migration is that it's not only your immediate family, like your husband or your children, but it's also aunts, uncles, you know, your
First, second cousins.
cousins.
Yeah, people who, like, you can do a fiance visa, marriage visa, like people you're not even related to, but you're in a relationship with.
And that's just opening things up to game the system, of course, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think well, at least my solution again would be is, like, I know for Canada, I think we need to reduce the number of immigrants coming in, because I think we're letting in way too many people.
Too many too fast. Because I mean, we do have a lot of land for the amount of people we have in our country.
It's gonna change, like.
But it changes the culture for sure.
Yeah, because cultural demographics do matter, and I believe that yeah. So and also it should be on a merit based system. So
I have one other question for you guys. You did. I don't know if we touched on it or not. I don't think we did. The whole scandal that's going on right now with the FBI agents. I'm sure you've been following it. That I guess there was some sort of something going on behind the scenes where they were actively talking to each other. There were two FBI agents that were dating, and now it's kind of calling into question the
Mueller,
the objectivity of the FBI when looking into the Trump collusion issue and all the yeah. What is that being covered in the States at all, or is it just sort of
I haven't heard about it. Have you?
I haven't heard about that, but it wouldn't surprise me because that's all CNN talks about is Trump, Russia. I mean, it's literally all they talk about.
Yeah. So yeah. It's interesting because apparently they were also involved in the Hillary digging into the Hillary situation, and apparently I need to look into it a little bit more, but apparently it's now calling into question whether or not a proper investigation into Hillary was done at the time. There might have been some behind the scenes.
I don't know if this is what you were talking about, but I did see something briefly where apparently some guy was a part of Hillary's team, and I guess he like something about sexual misconduct or something like that. I don't know if this is what you were talking about or not.
I don't think it was a sexual misconduct issue. I think it was more of some sort of collusion behind the scenes to essentially let Hillary off the hook easy.
Well, yeah, I think I heard that. I heard that apparently Hillary knew that she wasn't going to be investigated just days before she was supposed to testify.
I'm not sure. There's something there. I mean, I've read a couple articles about it, but I'm just curious if it's sort of mainstream, general consensus, or not general consensus.
You'll have to share it because
we haven't heard.
Yeah.
Okay. That's weird that I haven't heard it. I think I was listening to Ben Shapiro's podcast, and he mentioned it.
Oh, okay.
I'll look into it again.
And the whole release the memo, is that being covered in?
Yeah, that's like all they ever talk. Again, that's all I talk about.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so stupid. Like I honestly seriously believe that Trump Russia is like it's not even an issue because Rachel Maddow a couple of days before Obama left and Trump was going to be sworn in, it's like, well, Obama brought all these troops and by near Russia, near the Russian border or whatever. And her big question is, well, is Trump gonna is he gonna take those troops out and just leave Russia alone? If he does, there's something there,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you see how he is. I mean, if he's a big Russia ally or like best friends with Putin, he's not acting like it.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot of anti-Russia stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know what these CNN dopes are talking about, but
yeah, and plus I'm old enough to remember when the left and the media and the Democrats all laughed at Romney when he said, you know, in 2012 when he said that Russia posed the
yeah, hey, the 1980s call, they want to throw bombs about it.
Yeah, and look, like 6 years later, oh no, Russia, oh god, it's almost like we've gone back to the 1950s with the Cold War. So
yeah, it's because I don't know, it's that whole. I think it's because they just hate Trump so much. They're trying to find anything. There's been 2 instances where a president has been really close to impeached or has been impeached. Andrew Johnson, the 17th president of the United States.
And Nixon and
no, not Nixon. He resigned.
Oh, no, he resigned before the.
Right. He resigned. So technically, but then Bill Clinton, of course, we don't have sexual relations with that woman. But even when he was impeached, he still ran his whole presidential term. So it's like, you know, like you weren't really. It was all politics. Republicans will impeach him, but then let's just continue having him as president, I guess, because we don't want.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want Trump out, do you really want Mike Pence, who's probably you know, because everyone's like, oh, Hillary Clinton can still be president. No, it's over. You know, Hillary Clinton, woman as president's over. The closest you have to get is maybe Nikki Haley, who, I mean, I'm not surprised if she becomes the first.
Yeah, I like her. I like Nikki.
You do?
Yeah, I see her 2024. I think that she'll.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if she ran. I mean, I don't know if I'd vote for her, but it wouldn't surprise me for sure if she ran.
Yeah. Can you imagine if she ran and won? Like, okay, here you have.
Because then you see all the feminists, you know, oh, we love women, and then the woman they don't want, they're gonna, you know.
Yeah, it's like, well, now you're not.
They actually, we're gonna have to end this in a little bit, but they actually had something about Nikki Haley having an affair with Trump.
What?
Yeah, that's a story. That was a news story. Oh, Nikki Haley must be sucking Donald Trump's dick. Like, come on.
Okay, I didn't hear that one. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, because Twitter is the big basis of right-wing news, and you know.
Yeah, that's right.
On that one. But.
All right, that Twitter.
But we're gonna have to close this out. But so again, I'm sorry for all the audio issues during the whole.
No problem.
We looked like we got it all straightened out as we went on, but it was a lot of fun talking to you guys.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, you guys too.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah.
Promote your YouTube channel that you're it's gonna be coming up, right?
Yes, it'll be coming up soon, really soon. Hopefully this week, and it's called True Canuck.
Awesome. Hopefully we'll.
Once you get it up, we'll put the link in the description, and if you put it on Twitter, of course, we'll promote it on Twitter.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you gotta invite us. That's only fair. Fair and balanced, as they say. I was kidding.
If we have an open.
Yeah. Same for you guys.
Again, but with next time the audio.
Yeah, next time we're gonna straighten out the audio before we start.
We tried something new in the beginning, and it obviously didn't work.
Yeah. So you're the guinea pigs on that one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But anyway, that's gonna be the end of the stream, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. So again, thanks to David and Jason for joining us, and again, check out their YouTube channel, True Canuck, when it comes out sometime this week, right?
Right.
Yeah. So again, go ahead and check that out, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. All right. Take care. Cheers.